start from a place of stillness before we go too deep into movement to feel this Vayu. So you can lie on your back. We're going to be starting in movement quite quickly. So just notice, do you want to have your knees bent? Kind of the nicest place to be in constructive rest. Notice if you need a little bit of support behind your head. Yeah, come on in. Come on, scoot. And as you find your body connecting on the floor, see if your elbows want to be on the floor and maybe your hands want to touch the area of the abdomen. So feel your belly button. Notice that Samana is also above the belly. And there's also a connection below the belly as well that we're going to explore. And as you feel a checking in come in, notice how your abdomen feels. So is there holding there as you breathe? Is there an ease of the movement of the diaphragm descending? So there's a relationship of the diaphragm, not only with samana, but with apana. And so our diaphragm, when we inhale, there's a contracting downward. And so the diaphragm engages, it flattens out from the upward dome shape, and it presses down on all the digestive organs. And this is what creates the belly to expand. And then as you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes up into an upward dome shape. Just see and feel the breathing into the area of the abdomen, feeling the belly button above the belly button, below the belly button. It's this outward movement, inhalation, and then an exhalation of softening in. Notice as you're just pausing to breathe here into the abdomen that we're creating a balance here, not only nourishing the digestive system, but also nourishing the emotions, creating a balance in the emotional center. You can bring a powerful quality to this connection here by bringing in an intentional awareness. So, anytime we pair intention with an exploration, we grow the quality of benefits that we're going to feel. We expand the energy awareness. So as you inhale and you feel that expansion, you exhale and you feel the belly deflating. Just notice what emotions are present with you. And then create an intention as you're breathing here that you're balancing any emotions that are present, coming back to that quality of sva, which is the self, And then very slowly, when it's arising for you, allow yourself to go into pelvic tilt. So as you inhale and the belly expands, you might feel that your lower back goes into a curve. The sit bones reach down towards the floor a little bit. And as you exhale and the belly releases into the body, you might feel yourself go through neutral into a posterior tilt where the lower back starts to meet the floor. And just go back and forth and just feel the fluidity that is arising for you. This balancing of our emotional center, pairing it with a quality of intention. Okay, we're going to bring in a little bit more of a focus for Samana. Right now, we've been just breathing into the whole area of the belly and just letting our awareness be there. So, as you explore the anterior tilt, which is moving up towards the ceiling, lower back curve, and the posterior tilt, where the lower back is pressing into the floor, I want you to notice where is neutral. So, can you explore a place in between the anterior and the posterior tilt for you, where you still have that soft lower back curve, okay? But you can feel, if even if you want to move your hands a little bit up onto your ribs, you can notice, okay, my rib cage is not flaring, but I can feel that there's a connection of a rooted back of the pelvis. So right ilium, left ilium, the downward facing triangle of the sacrum. You can feel the shoulder blades and the rib cage just below the shoulder blade, equally weighted right side to left. And you're going to locate your belly button with, you can do it with both hands, with one or two fingers. And then you're going to take your index, your middle, and your ring finger on one hand, and you're going to bring the fingers together. And so I'll show this in a seated so there's not an unclarity. And you're measuring the three fingers, middle, ring, and pinky. Sorry, index, middle, and ring finger lining up. And then you're going to measure 3 finger width below the belly button. And so this is helping to bring the breath in a more of a directed way to help balance the pelvis. So you can just breathe into the belly in freedom. And then you can also measure with that index, middle, and ring finger below the belly button, 3 finger widths below. And then the hand that was touching the belly button, you're going to put it below the 3 fingers. And then you can remove the 3 fingers and just feel this lower belly space. 3 fingers width below the belly button. Some of us, it is 4, depending on the width of our fingers. And then you're going to take your hand, one hand can keep that connection onto the belly, and the other hand, you're going to just allow it as you inhale to float above the belly. And as you exhale, use the fingers to direct the breath into that space, about 3 to 4 finger widths below the navel. Feel that slight gathering in that's happening. As you inhale, let your hand float away, let the belly expand. And as you exhale, feel the energy drawing back about 3 to 4 finger widths below the belly button. Feel the belly coming back. And some of you might even notice a little bit of up that comes in. Maybe the feet root down to explore that. Each time you inhale, let the belly expand, the hand move away. Each time you exhale, direct the attention of the flow of energy of Samana, 3 to 4 finger widths below the belly button. My pelvis is just automatically going into a little flow of a pelvic tilt again, but you might be in stillness. Okay, whatever is happening, just allow it to arise. Good. Then you're going to pause here. You're going to feel that spot, that 3 to 4 finger widths below the belly button. So you might even have your hand there to feel that. We're going to inhale. We're going to exhale. We're going to lengthen one leg forward. Doesn't matter to me which one you do. We're just lengthening it forward, heels on the floor. You're going to point your toes away from you. So we're just going to do a little psoas release. Okay, so noticing as you exhale into that lower belly, you're going to roll the whole leg out, back to center, and in. And just see if there's a little internal pranic alignment that happens. So when we're using the Vayus, not only to just balance and nourish the digestive system, but also to balance and pranically align the pelvis with power of intentional breathing. You'll feel as you inhale, maybe the inhale starts to expand above that 3 to 4 finger space. So maybe it's in the belly button, maybe it's a little bit higher. And as you exhale, you feel that space lower, drawing back, maybe even feeling a little up. This is where you might even feel Apana and Samana joining. Okay, then when you're ready to pause, you're going to allow the toes to relax and just root out through the heel. Reach energy out your leg, out the heel. Toes nice and passive. You can even wiggle them as you do this. Exhale into the lower belly. Inhale above. Let the belly expand. And then keep that breath and roll the leg out and in. We're just going to release back line. So depending on if we don't live in a neutral pelvis, we could have an emotional feeling or reaction in the body from a postural pattern of either living in a posterior or an anterior tilt. So we're just releasing both lines of the body. Notice if one feels a little bit better for you. This one is for the back. When we reach through the toes, it's front body. Okay, then you're going to pause, come back to center, reach through the toes, slide the foot, the leg back. Notice the body as you come back into neutral. Just breathe in freedom into the abdomen, balancing of samana, the equalness. And then when you're ready, if it's working for you to breathe about 3 to 4 finger widths below the belly button on the exhale, do that breath, that intentional breath, as you extend the other leg. Heels on the floor, toes pointing. Roll the whole leg out, back to center, a little in. Yeah, just giving a little bit more space as we're repeating the flow. And then when you're ready, you're going to go into pausing, reaching and sending energy out the leg and out the heel. Toes are passive, so you're just wiggling them. You're not pulling the toes back towards the skull. Okay, and then you're going to roll the leg out and in, breathing into Samana Vayu. Maybe the hand directing the breath is working for you. Maybe letting go of the direction and just breathing into the belly is working. See for this one if the arms just want to extend. What happens when you keep the rib cage rooted onto the floor? If the arms don't work, bring them back down. And then we're going to slowly slide the leg back in. Good. Now take now the ball inflated or the 4-inch block, put it in between the thighs. Arms are just going to go out to the side for this one. We're going to inhale, we're going to exhale, bring a little bit of apana in. Inhale, expand. As we exhale, feel apana squeezing the ball, the block. Inhale, expand. As you exhale, feel that gathering. And then on your next one, as you squeeze the ball, the block, I want you to direct your breath of exhaling into that lower belly and see if your legs float up towards you or if you can allow the legs to drop. We're just going to do a little core twist just to feel how the power of the pelvis can support us in twist motion. I want you to lead with Samana Vayu and the pelvis. So as you exhale, you're going to allow the legs to come over to one side. Gently squeeze the ball or the block. Exhale into that Samana Vayu. Maybe it's 3 to 4 finger lifts below the belly. And then inhale to center. And then exhale, bringing the legs to the other side. Feeling, maybe you even hover here for a breath or two. You can do that by being supported on the prana from the inside. Just flow from side to side. We're just taking the arms out of it because I just want you to feel the pelvis. Just allowing some core twists to come in. Move from the power of the pelvis. Allow the belly to expand through belly button, upper belly. And see if you can exhale into that lower belly. And some of you might even feel a little up at the end of your exhale. Good. If you do want to extend the feet, the shins up and see how that helps you, can you hover on one side a little bit? Some of you know this as smiley face 1 and 2. You're using the prana internally along the Sushumna, that central column. Yeah, and when you feel complete, let it go. Yeah. Take a few breaths, shake it on out. Remember, at any time you can release, flick away, because we're building the energy inside of the body. Whenever you release the breath out the mouth, you can use that intentional release out the mouth to drop whatever's no longer needed out of the body, out of the energetic system, out of the mind. So use apana for that release at any time you need to. Then we're going to come, roll over. And then I want to go into this awareness of feeling the spinal wave going into the wave fluid into a cobra. So last night we explored putting a block or a ball in between the inner thighs. If you want to do that again, you can. And just coming back on hands and knees, hands under shoulder, knees under hips, and just flowing. Now feel the movement start from the pelvis. You're doing pelvic tilts here. So as you exhale, let there be a posterior tilt. So that means the sit bones are going to reach down, hands are going to press into the floor, the shins, the feet, the knees, maybe the back rounds up into flexion. And then as you inhale, there's an anterior tilt. So you're gauging what's happening by the front of the hip bones. So when the front of the hip bones start to tilt towards the floor, you're going into an anterior tilt. See if you can even out that anterior tilt where you have a nice smooth curve of the lower back. Exhale, if you want, into the lower belly. And flowing back and forth. Okay, we're gonna allow ourselves to move back into child's pose. And some of you might watch for the first part of what we're going to flow into. So you're going to have your arms a little bit more extended here, head's just off the floor. So you're going to root the feet into the floor, top of the feet root into the floor. You gently squeeze the ball. You're going to slowly round up through the spine, come into an extension. So you're in a plank that's modified. Then you're going to lead back with the pelvis, rounding back through the spine, posterior tilt, exhale. And then you're going to inhale forward. As you go into your extension and plank, you're going to exhale. See if you can feel neutral pelvis here. You might even pause for a breath or two. And then lead the pelvis back. Okay, exhale back. Start the inhale, press the feet, go into your exhale. See if you can find neutral pelvis. And then let the pelvis in neutral. So you exhale the lower belly, let it release down, but you're not releasing the containment, the energetic awareness. And see if you can lift up through lower belly, pubic bone, upper belly, chest. If you want to go into a modified cobra upper dog, feel free. And your spine waving through this exploration. I'm just going to watch you. Beautiful. Nice. Good, Sander. Let that weave go all the way up the spine. Yeah, excellent work. C, do you want to pause in child's pose? Do you want to push up into downward dog? Maybe you even release that ball and you find that exhale into that lower belly of Samana Vayu to allow your hip. There becomes a floating, a lightness. So as we bring in the Vayus, there starts to become this awareness of shifting the intentionality of the pose, shifting the intentionality of our practice. Instead of putting ourselves into a pose, we're receiving the pose into the body. So there's almost like we're being gently guided into these shapes that we put names to that are guiding us through the pranic breath. Yeah, good. I see Coco's doing a spiraling around you, Christine. Yeah, good. Some of you are just playing a little bit. So just have some time just to listen to your body, move around a little bit as Swadhisthana, right? Our second chakra is this part of creativity. So I'm getting a little bit of guidance just to allow you to have some creativity here of a little bit of play. Notice what's coming in for you. Is there a shape, something that your body wants to go into, an asana? Remember, samana equal. And you come and rest in child's pose for a breath or two whenever you want. And then we are going to just pause there for a few rounds of breath before we come and sit. So as you're seated, we're going to end in Matangi Mudra in a moment, but I want to just explore Navasana and boat for a moment. So we're going to sit with our knees bent, and some of you might even put a ball or a block in between the thighs. But when we're sitting here, you might do a little sweep of the hand just up and the top of the thigh over the buttocks to see if you can find that lower part of the pelvis. And so then I want you to see, can I bring my feet hip width apart? Maybe you find a distance of your heels from your buttocks that feels comfortable for you. Then I want you to just have your hands either on your shins or the back of the thighs, whatever feels good. Relax shoulders. Now I want you to just let the pelvis posterior tilt back. So sometimes when we go into seated or Navasana play here, we do this posterior tilt. We also do this when we're seated. Now I want you to feel an inhale. Feel almost like you've got a string onto your sternum and there's a lifting as you expand the belly, lift up. Inhale. See if you can find a neutral pelvis. Squeeze the ball of the block. Exhale into 3 to 4 finger widths below the belly button into Samana. You might feel a little up. If you do, that's the connection of Mula Bandha coming in, of Apana and Samana. Then you're going to keep this alignment. Imagine you have a little string at the top of your head, and you're going to lean back without dropping the pelvis in a posterior tilt. So I want you to find neutral pelvis. Arms may even relax, they may even come up. Squeeze the ball if you want. Then inhale, exhale, lifting in and up. And you feel the energetic kind of awareness of using that pranic alignment to go back and forth. Some of you might find a teeter point that you've actually come into and you can feel the feet becoming light. If not, keep them on the floor. Pull the thigh bones in towards the base of the socket and the hips. Squeeze the block. Lift in and up. In Navasana. If you want, straighten the legs. If not, keep them bent. Okay, come down. Relax. And try it one more time. Feel the inner lift as you exhale. Feel the energy lifting up through the central channel of the body. Exhale. Squeeze the ball. See if the legs want to float up or not. Okay, relax down. You're going to shake out the legs. Let them wiggle from right to left. And we're just going to end here, seated for a moment, trying to find a neutral pelvis. You might even go into an anterior and a posterior tilt. Notice what that feels like. Let the pelvis lead the movement. And then use the intentionality as you inhale into the middle upper belly. You might even use the hands. Exhale into the lower belly. It helps to direct the breath with the hands. We did this with Apana, and we used the hands coming into a soft fist and opening. Sometimes even just touching a point to feel that lower belly. Beautiful. We're going to go into Matangi Mudra now. You're going to interlace your fingers. Right thumb on top, middle finger extends. The heel of your wrist is around the belly button. Middle finger is pointing forward. So the middle finger connects to this representation of a clear direction. Helps us with moving forward, having this clarity of sight, clarity of directionality in our life. So Matangi is the goddess of transformation. So it enhances the flow of Samana Vayu, directing the breath and the flow of energy into the body, not only in the solar plex for the digestion, but you might feel a stability in the pelvic bowl. It cultivates inner heat. So if you feel any hyper digestion right now, okay, in your body, just let it go. You can always go into pushan, which is just bringing the palms in a cupping motion and the pinky side of the hands facing up. Sorry, the pinky side of the hands leaning into each other and the palms of the hands up. So there's a increase in circulation. There's that digestive fire that's kindling. You have this ability here that this mudra enhances to be able to fully digest and assimilate experiences, which helps to cultivate mental clarity. And with this mental clarity and this balancing in our mental awareness, we can envision our life purpose more easily. That's that clear direction of the fingers. And as it enhances the digestive system, we can also maybe feel the diaphragm getting enhanced, the pumping action. And with this as well, it's returning the venous return of the blood from the lower body up into the heart, the cardiovascular system. It can also be in the lymphatic system, the cooling of excess lymph, lower body, upward. And just take a few more breaths, just to pause here. You might even let the mudra go. Just pause and seated. I'm going to read you a piece of poetry that's wanted to come in, and this one's by called Buoyancy, and it's one by Donna Falls. I've regained a natural buoyancy, as if spirit in me just won't stay down for long. It still surprises me to witness these moods. Overnight, I shift from sad and brooding to joyous. And one day I may feel grief, contentment, anger, ease, and bliss. Feelings lift and lower like a rowboat on waves. I'm neither the stories I tell myself nor the emotions that accompany the tales. I am the one who witnesses. I am the one who witnesses, who sees the spider spin her web without getting caught in the sticky threads. Just allow the arms, if they're not out to the side, palms forward. And let's just inhale, bringing the arms, sweeping up the energy just to align ourselves. As the palms touch, exhale, receive. Feel the energy going down into the earth. Feel that inhale, the energy expand, gathering up, and the exhale as you receive. And one more time. And pause, that heart, Anjali, which also can be a gesture of union. As you breathe here, see if anything shifted. If your eyes are still closed, just let them open and lift your head.